Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rail. Please press the like button and subscribe. Uh, I was going down a place called Ramsey Pally years ago, and I was a big lump. I just walked through the door, wouldn't bother the bouncers, and I think just walk through the door, doing my own thing. Yeah, I'm just selling on the company the same thing as you, mate. You know what I mean? Let me through. I do the same work as you do, and there's no arguments. Just walk straight through. You know what I mean? And went in there, and I see a girl that I used to go out with, you know, and she was working in these big cages. There's big cages, but there was a dance, yeah. And she was working there. She was really nice, yeah. And I walked in and we was all having a little bit of a dance, and she noticed me. She smiled, and I thought, "Oh, right, how you going?" And I thought, "Yes, I'm all right for tonight. I can sort of see her and do what I've got to do, yeah, the business, yeah, and have a nice night." So anyway, so we were dancing and we were sitting there, and there was these two guys, and they was giving her grief, yeah, going for the cage, trying to pull her. And I was with a guy called Tony, you know, I'm going to say his name, second name, Tony, right? And we had a fight with these guys, and in the end they got ripped to pieces. My mate Tony, they should have called him Stanley Tony, mate. He used to walk around with a Stanley knife. He cut these guys to pieces, mate. They was chopped up, I swear to God. He done their faces and everything. He done all I mean, you know, you don't realise what a Stanley knife can do. I mean, he rips them to pieces, he just rips them up, yeah, crash, rips them up. And we couldn't get out of there quick enough, you know what I mean? Got out there, just ran, I never went back there, and ripped them to pieces. And going home in the car with him, he don't drink, I didn't drink. And we go in the car and talk. I said, "Why you do all that? Cut them to pieces like that?" He said, "Yeah, but," he said, "Ray, that's what I do." He said, "That's what I do. I'm not there to go and have a fight and lose a fight. I'm there to win a fight. And if they want to fight, they're going to get chopped up." I went, "Tony, you can't do that, mate. It's too much." Anyway, I hadn't seen him for years. Then I was over Hammersmith one day, and I bumped into Tony's sister, Tina. I'm like, "How you going?" All right. So anyway, me and Tina was chatting, and I said, "Where's your Tony? I ain't seen Tony for a long, long time." She said, "Oh, he's gone abroad." I said, "How long's he been gone for?" She said, "No, he's only been gone for about 6 months now, you know what I mean? But he's wants to get away." I said, "Why? Why?" She said, "Well, he got caught cutting someone up. They give him 4 years, and it just, when he come out," I said, "I didn't even know that." She said, "Yeah, when he come out, he was different. He was a completely different guy." She said, "You just wouldn't know him. He was quiet, and just he had quite a bit of money for the family. Or when they died, he had quite a bit of money, and he just went abroad. He just shot abroad." I went, "Oh, okay." Anyway, I was to see Tina again. Went round the house one day to see Tina. I was sitting down and said, "What's up? Where's he gone?" I said, "It's been over a year now." She said, "Yeah, what it is, mate?" She said, he's gone over there, different parts of the world, but he's gone over there to learn martial arts." She said, "You know, he used to do a little bit of judo." I said, "Yeah, I know that." But he's gone over there to learn martial arts. He just said, after that, with the standing, after cutting people up and we saying, "No," he said he learned his lesson. He said, and he went over there, and Tony was a right fit guy, muscular guy, really muscular, 5'8", muscular, blonde hair, really muscular. And he went out there to learn martial arts. But anyway, this is about 2 years later. I bumped into him, and I went, "Hello, Tony, how you going, mate?" He started talking to me. Listen, and he learnt knife martial arts, sword martial arts, spears martial arts, karate martial arts, judo martial arts. He learnt about 10 different martial arts. I think he got about, he got so many certificates and belts from what he was doing. I think he was out there for 2 or 3 years. He got all sort of different sorts of belts and his dans and this, that and the other. And it was like unbelievable to see what he'd done in his life, you know. He'd completely changed it. Prison had completely changed him. You know, he didn't want to go back there, mate, and it changed him into doing that. And so I said, what are you doing now, mate? He said, well, I'm just, he said, well, he said, I got put in prison. He said, and I'm now, I want to become a black cab driver. I've been to the board. I've explained to them that I've been in prison. They're going to come back with a yes or no. I'm just waiting now. He said, I'm panicking, and this, that, and the other. But he also, when he done his cab license thing, and he was going to give him a license, he had to go in front of a board, and that, you know. But he took all these things that he'd done for martial arts, everything, yeah, to show that showed them that he changed his life. And they give him a black cab license. And I see him. When I see him, I couldn't believe it. He's waiting. And one day, I went down to him, there's a black cab outside, and I knew that it was Tony, you know. And I was really so happy, mate. He said, get in the cab. He said, we're going to take you for a little drive. He took me to a drive. We went over to a big park in Battersea, I think it was. Battersea Park, yeah. And we're walking around now. We're walking around there for, at least half an hour. And he's talking to me about all the martial arts he's done, and this, that, and the other. He said, you know, he said, it's changed my life, mate. It's completely changed my life. I've never seen a guy with so many black belt. He's got black belts, and he's got all sorts of certificates and what he's done, and medals and this, that, and the other for what he's done. And you know, mate, it made me so proud. It made me so proud to think, crikey, man, to go around the world, or to go where we went to learn all the martial arts. There's countries that you'd never think that he went to learn their martial arts, yeah. But the guy is like he's just, and he was saying, he said sometimes it comes in handy for certain things. He said some guys tried to rob me, and he said it came in handy. You know what I mean? He said I used my skills, what I learned. He said, and it was done in seconds. Not seconds, but, you know, it was done quick. And I said, well done, son. He said, you know, I've had a bit of trouble. He said, and when people don't want to pay the fare and this, that, and the other, he said, sometimes I have to get my choke locks and things like that, and they give me the money, you know. And he said, yeah, I've learned a lot, mate, but I use it for my own purpose. I'm not a bully no more. I don't go around cutting people like I've learned. He said, I've learned all the knife martial arts, and the swords, and the spears and what. I've learnt all that. He said, but I don't use it. But it's handy to have it, you know. I went, crikey. And I was in Harrow, yeah. And a mate of mine come to see me. And this guy walked in, his black cab driver, and he was a black belt in knife fighting. And I went, I was just talking to him, and he's done a bit of fighting in his life, you know. Most cab drivers have, haven't they? You know what I mean? And I was talking to him, and I said, my mate does all that knife fighting, and he said, never. He said, what's his name, mate? I said, Tony. I said, the second name. He went, I know Tony. He said, he learnt me a lot, mate. He learnt me a lot. He said, you know, I've got a black belt in knife fighting. He said, Tony's learnt me a lot ever since that. Even though I've got black, but he's learnt me a lot, because when he goes to the countries that actually do knife crime, it's a bit different to over here. I went, yeah, do you know what? He said, yeah, mate, he's just a nice guy. But I can see he's a very dangerous guy, you know what I mean? He said, he is very powerful and a very dangerous guy. And what happened, me and him one day went out for a little drink. Don't drink, mate, don't drink. Over Chiswick. Mate, I see him, he's with me, mate, and he just, unbelievable what he can do, you know, I mean, unbelievable. I'm so proud of him, you know what I mean? I'm so unbelievable what he can do. He didn't leave me, mate. He was like, in seconds, bang, 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 and that's with his fists, but so fast. And he's boom, boom, boom. He didn't even use his legs, but and it was so fast. And I thought, well done. Teach me some of that, you know what I mean? I was so proud of him, mate. I loved him to death. He's a nice kid, yeah. And I was just pleased to change his life about prison, yeah? And to change his life that way after coming out of prison is fantastic. Anyway, just a little thing, a little story about my mate Tony. Anyway, please press the like button and subscribe. Nice one, boy.